So we are right on the verge of closing out 2022. And this year has been one that it's been one to celebrate. And so today's video, I want to spend some time. I took a bunch of notes. I got them on the iPad. I'm going to walk you guys through pretty much how I made money and how I went from 2021 not really being that great of a year to 2022 being a year of just growth. So if you're wondering, kind of a video production company that's just run by one person that occasionally outsources, I actually in 2022 worked with 10 different clients, and I dished out roughly about 40 different invoices amongst those different clients. And I want to kind of break this down into two different types of incomes. And what I kind of mean is of those 10 clients, some of them were monthly retainers. Now, when it comes to retainers, you have to give up a little bit of money, but I really enjoy these because I form a relationship with those particular clients. The second type of income was just going to be per project. Now, this is where more money is made, but I would probably say this is where the jobs are a little bit more intense, a little bit more demanding. Like I mentioned, more money to be made, but in some of these that I'll be discussing, they also involve bringing in others, which, hey, look, I absolutely love collaborating. That's when I get to make the bigger, better projects. But bottom line, it does cut into your profit margins a little bit. But those are my two types of incomes that I focus on. So we start off January of 2022, and my first project that I had going was an actual photography gig out in Austin. Now that went pretty successful. It was a 2-day shoot, and the goal there was to capture as many high quality photos of the speakers and the people that were attending the event. And so that was gig number one in January. And then also throughout the month of January, I worked hand in hand with a retainer client to do their kind of weekly update videos, and then also they had a podcast that I was chopping up. On top of that, I had another retainer client in the month of January, similar scenario where whether it was their podcast, whether it was some content addressing an issue, those were my kind of 3 gigs that kind of got me through the month of January. Now, as we make our way into February, similar situation, still retainer with actually 2 of my clients, and then I actually end up landing another client that was having me chop up their podcast. I ended up negotiating a per podcast kind of edit and deliverable and made some decent money off of that as well. So moving into March, this is where things get a little bit different and switch up a little bit. We had our 2 monthly contracts that we were doing, our retainers, and then we did a little bit of the podcasting. But on top of that, I'm actually going to take my hat off because this was the first gig of the year that I teamed up with Push Record. Now, we ended up going to Jay Peak, Vermont, and I was brought in to do a behind-the-scenes filming of their video production, and then on top of that, just kind of help them wherever help was needed. Deliverables on that was just, they needed a handful of photos of them out in the field, working the gear, doing interviews, and then on top of that, like I mentioned, I delivered kind of like a 60-second recap video that was used for social media, their website, Instagram, things of that nature, and love working with the Push Record guys and was excited when this kind of came down the pipeline because I had worked with them in 2021, but this was going to be the first time in 2022, and always fun because for me, not only am I getting to work and get paid, I get to actually learn quite a bit because these guys are a notch above in regards to some of the stuff that they're doing, shooting with Red. So I got the opportunity to work with some Red footage that they sent my way for the edit. And yeah, just get to see the bigger boy productions in action and actually get paid to document it. So month of March was pretty exciting in regards to bringing in a different kind of client, a little bit of different work. As we roll into April, similar, we had our retainers, and then 2 new gigs came in the month of April that were pretty exciting, and the first one was Wolfstock. Now, Wolfstock was an event that was put on by K9 Social here in the Jacksonville, Florida area. It was like a concert slash dog event, and they brought me out to do a recap of the event. Pretty much a full day shoot. Was definitely a grind, but brought out the S5, the GH5, and the GH4, and also brought the DJI drone out. And we just kind of made a couple of social media clips for them. That was just a recap of the event. They absolutely loved it, and it was a pretty cool opportunity, as you guys can see, because obviously I was filming the event, but there was a concert going on as well, so I got to film some of the local bands. Yeah, overall that was a very unique product. Made a little bit of money, worked my butt off on it, but it was definitely fun. And then the second gig that was, man, I've been working on something like this for years, so when this came, I was just, I couldn't believe it. And it was actually the first time that over all the years of making YouTube videos, I had an actual, I guess, group slash product or company reach out to me in regards to paying me to make videos about their products. Now, I don't think that was ever the intention of this channel, but in the back of my mind, it was definitely written down of like, man, one day if a company would be willing to pay me to make product reviews or actually just maybe product videos for them that maybe I wasn't even talking, they just really enjoyed my footage. That was just a goal I had, and in April of 2022 it actually finally happened. So we won't talk money, but I'll tell you this, it's not a lot, it's not a little, but it's enough to put a smile on my face, and just a goal that I just could check off of that achieved after, oh my gosh, 5 years of YouTube. So there's hope out there for everyone. Just keep powering forward, and you never know, companies will reach out. They will eventually discover you if you just keep powering through. So, and May consisted of similar. I was still editing those podcasts that were per podcast, making a pretty penny off of that, and then I had the monthly retainer client. Moving into June, monthly retainer number 1, we had monthly retainer number 2. Also, we were still editing podcasts in the month of June, and then this was also the month that for the first time I did a video for that YouTube style company that had brought me out or agreed to have me make videos for them. So that was the month of June. Moving in July, kind of just a normal month, just had the 2 retainers. And then August of 2022, I landed the biggest gig that I've ever had from a dollar standpoint. Now, I'd done this gig last year, but this year it was going to be bigger and better. And yeah, this gig, I was hired in to cover the event, to do videography, to do interviews, and to do photography as well. So I did have a team of 4. You guys are probably seeing some of the BTS from that event. It was a grind, 3 days of grinding out, but we all worked hard. We all made good money. The deliverables to the client, they were extremely happy. And I'm hoping to be doing that event again next year in 2023. But that was huge for Lowell Productions, just being able to bring on the team. You know, you're going to end up having to pay out a little bit for the team, but at the same time, there are places and ways to make money off of that, and it was just a win-win for everyone involved. And the client was very happy because they actually even agreed later in the year to have me do another event as well. August as well, we had 1 monthly retainer, so we went down from 2 down to 1, and this was a month where a client that had been on from the beginning of the year, as far as deliverables for them, they were very happy with what we were doing or with what I was creating for them. But they were, you know, having some internal conversations in regards to should they be creating the product or not anymore. So they actually ended up kind of pausing the gig, which was no big deal because I kind of saw it coming. A little bit of a blow to the month to month, but at the same time, you guys can see throughout the year, you're kind of going to go like this. You're going to have peaks and valleys, and it's going to challenge you in regards to figuring out how to get more clients and how to, you know, combat those kind of situations that come along. So for the month of September, once again, we were doing our agreed upon contract with the video company. We also, that client that had dropped off for their month-to-month retainer. They actually then had me, though, the month of September, come out to a live event they had and capture that, and you guys can see some of the footage as well here, and made a little bit of money. We were doing recording all of their speeches, and then I was doing photography. I did it all myself, mainly because the budget wasn't as big as I would have liked. And then that makes me roll into October, which we had one monthly retainer, just doing some knick-knack videos for them, subject videos, and then we landed a unique one, and we worked with the Push Record guys again. Now, this one was an NTT data project. I'm running some of the footage right now where they had actually gone out and captured it, but they needed me to edit the recap video, so I was brought in just for editing. It was super... I really enjoyed it because for the first time I was editing some C300 footage. Looked absolutely beautiful. The guy who actually filmed it did a fantastic job. And so my job was just to do the editing portion, to make an upbeat, fun little video and recap this event. So I did that one. And then also I was contracted to do another video that was more of an about video of the event space that NTT Data had. Similar situation, just make a cool upbeat video for them. So I knocked that out. And then for the first time, this was a very unique one in the month of October, I was brought out to film Breaking Point's Chicago's event. Now, I do happen to have a buddy of mine that I know from Washington, D.C. that has a relationship with the Breaking Points guys and gals. So I was kind of brought out to bring my Lumix S5, the GH5, the GH4, and to just capture the event and do an event recap video, which you guys are kind of seeing right now. And it was fun, man. I've never kind of worked that type of event, and they were great. The crowd was great. Made a little bit of money off of it, but the kind of product here, or what I was brought out to, was to film, to do a recap video, and also edit the full run of show. And also, the grind on this one was recap video was to be made within about 24 to 48 hours, and then the actual full run of show was to be delivered pretty much not the same night, but it needed to be exporting the night that we filmed it. So it was a unique experience, but I really enjoyed it, and they were thrilled with the end product. And so that was the month of October. And as we roll into November, we had another monthly retainer. We did another huge event, the most challenging event I have done all year, and that was with NTT in Boston. Now, I can't really show you too much of this footage, but I'll sum it down to 5 cameras, 15 lavaliers, 8 hours of running cameras to be edited down into 4 parts. Now, so far, I am almost done with the project. Client is already happy with what we've kind of delivered, because I've had to just deliver some of the parts just to show them where things were going. But it was a combination of cutting cameras, cutting audio between 15 lavaliers was nerve-wracking. I honestly think I got like a sty in my eye because I was so stressed out. But I figured it out. Colors were good. Audio was good. Client was happy. And I'll be kind of wrapping that up here in the next few days. But that was the month of November in regards to doing some video work. And then December, I did a live event with a group where we were doing interviews. We were recapping the event. I had the monthly retainer, and then I have so far done 2 events with the Breaking Point guys where we actually flew up to New York. We captured the live event, did a recap video, then got on a train and went to Boston, filmed, did a recap, and cut 2 full run of shows of each one to be delivered to the client. They were thrilled, and it was really fun because I got to travel with these guys, ride on the train, go up to New York, which I haven't been in a while, make a little bit of money, and work with my good buddy Phil. And another project that I did is for some of these events that I was brought out with, I tend to work with the same production company that actually does all the like stage and the lighting and the screens and everything like that. And I, over the past 2 years, have been kind of doing time lapses for them and filming them kind of in action, building, because I've been at a couple of the events with them. And so I did this video that you guys are seeing for JRP Live, and it's pretty cool. It's something a little bit different. It's a kind of behind the scenes look from a complete production side of like bringing in cases, bringing in gear, and setting up an event space from nothing to something. And yeah, it's fun. I'm working with those guys from here. I was gonna say I've worked with them like 4 or 5 times. I love them. Justin over there is a good dude, and I actually think in 2023 I'm gonna be brought out to work with him and his team. And it once again goes back to just kind of every one of these events I have gone to, I talk, I interact with these guys, people that have different skill sets, people that do different things, and I'm just very interested. And through my interest, usually it leads to me being like, hey, can I film you guys doing what you're doing? And they love it, and it kind of opens up a window of opportunity for down the road. If these guys like me and I like them and they like the work, that in some way we can share each other's kind of like skill sets that we can bring to the table. And whether it's me hiring them or them hiring me, that relationship just ends up kind of working out to benefit all parties. So the JRP Live BTS stuff was fun to do. And then this one. Oof. If you're still listening to this video, I appreciate it, but this is a huge project that has to do with my good buddy Quackalope. And I've been making these board game videos for him where he runs a YouTube channel where he does board game reviews, he does gameplays, things of that nature, and his channel has gotten pretty big. And he's been talking to a lot of these kind of manufacturers, these companies that produce the games, and it's led to us slowly but surely making board game videos and packaging them nicely, filming them really well, in 60s, 30s, 15s, vertical, traditional photography for these games. And I've been doing this over the past few months and making a little bit of money here and there, but more, Jesse and I have been just trying to package these things and give them to these companies to form a relationship where hopefully they'll come back and hire us to do these video packages and photography packages for them, while he can also be doing his YouTube size review stuff. And it's a really interesting model that we're kind of trying to implement, not only in 2022, but in 2023. Last but not least, another video that I did was with Cabin City. This was a unique one that was just someone proposed to me if I wanted to chop it together. You guys are seeing it. It's a unique project that I don't really know these guys, but I was just brought on to do some editing, and I like what they're about. I'm not making any money, but I wanted to share my skill set, and so that was another project that I did. And this leads me all to, this video is so long, but I want to say that anyone out there that wants to do this, you 100% can. And I genuinely think that a lot of us get stuck on the work itself and how good, what camera am I using, how good does it look? And really, I think what you should be focusing in on is getting better with each video, but just relationship building. So whether it be in your local area, you just kind of promoting yourself. I know sometimes it's embarrassing. I know sometimes you might not even think that your videos are good enough, but your videos probably are good enough for so many people out there. So whether it be filming your local church, or going and doing photography for a local sporting event, or in my case, going out and filming a pet event, or going to do this Cabin City video, or filming people working, you would be surprised of where you can find places to make money. I think we all get blinded by the fancy. We want to be making the commercial style videos, and it's just going to take time. It's going to take effort. And over this year of working with other people and hiring out and seeing some others that have been doing this significantly longer than me are way more talented than me, it just takes time and it takes hustle. And I think each and every one of you out there, if you can put the time and effort in and be willing to go on a roller coaster of a ride, there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel. But cheers to 2022 and probably my longest video. But I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish. I still have so many things written down on this one little notepad that I only show to a select few. But my goals, there's, you know what? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goals that I wrote down for 2022, and I think I accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not even half, but it was a damn good year.